This is an assembly video for a 3x3 half rack. To assemble your rack, you'll need a few tools. A short 4-foot ladder. You can either use an impact drill with a 9/16 socket and one 9/16 inch wrench, or if you don't have an impact socket, use two 9/16 wrenches. And the last thing you'll need, and it'll come with it, is a stud bolt. And this will help you when you put on your weight storage and your chin bar. To start your assembly, start by laying out a few pieces. The two shorter pieces are your bases. Those bases, when you lay them out, the foot piece will face out on both. When you have your bases and your K-brace set up, go ahead and find your bag of bolts and lay some of the shorter bolts, 3/4 inch bolts out. You can lay 4 down on either side, and then we'll go ahead and finger tighten them where they need to go. You're going to start by lining up the 4 holes in the base with the 4 holes in the K-brace. And then take your bolt and just get them finger tight. Once you have all 8 bolts in, we'll go through and tighten them with your impact or with your wrench. Once you have all 8 bolts in there, just finger tight. Go ahead and take your impact or your wrench and tighten them. After you have all 8 bolts tightened between the K-brace and the base, go ahead and grab one of your uprights. So in order to tell what upright goes on which side, you'll notice that there are some numbers that are laser cut into each upright. Those will face forward. The other thing to look at too is, if you notice the top, some of the holes will be plugged and some of them will not. So make sure your unplugged holes are faced in. The second set will be faced back. So this, as I look into the rack, this will be the right upright. Once you figure out which upright is the right and the left, go ahead and set them down on the 4 holes on the base. You want to make sure that you set this down gently so that you don't scratch the paint on your new rack. Once you have your upright placed, carefully bend down and put the 4 bolts, just finger tight again, in the upright connecting it to the base. Once you have all 4 bolts in on this side, go ahead and move to the next. When assembling your rack, look for your stud bolt. The stud bolt we'll put down in the base, and then we'll put up in one of the uprights to help us do the chin bar. But what it'll do is just allow us to kind of set our pieces on without them sliding off, and then we can bolt where we need to. For this next step, you're going to need your short ladder. If you have a place to put your bolts on top, go ahead and lay out 8 bolts that'll cover all 4 on either upright at the top, and then go ahead and grab your upright. When you grab your upright, go ahead and place the bottom on your stud bolt. And the top 4 holes will line up. If you need to lift a little bit just to get them to line up, you can do that as well. But they should line up fairly well. And then go ahead and place in your 4 bolts. Again, this can just be finger tight. When you're done with one side, go ahead and move to the other. Once you have all 4 bolts at the top of your upright, finger tight, go ahead and move down to the bottom. Start by putting in a bolt where the stud bolt is not. Once you have that bolt in, again, it just only has to be finger tight. Go ahead and unscrew your stud bolt. So you can put it on the other side and then replace it with a bolt, finger tight. You repeat that process on the other side. Once you have your uprights and your weight storage on, the next will be the chin bar that goes up above. Again, use your stud bolt. There is 4 holes on the upright for the chin bar on either side. Put it in one of the bottom 2 holes. It doesn't matter if it's the front hole or the back hole, as long as it's one of the bottom 2. If you put it at the top, you won't be able to get your chin bar all the way. The stud bolt will restrict you from being able to put it on. Once you have your stud bolt in place, go ahead and take your ladder and set 8 bolts on top of the ladder, 4 and 4, and then grab your chin bar. When putting your chin bar on, go ahead and always have a firm grip on the center of the bar. This is what I was talking about. The stud bolt will go in the bottom 2 holes, and then you'll put bolts on the opposite side, and then it'll kind of just help steady it. Always make sure that you're holding on to your chin bar. Even when you think you got a bolt in there, it'll still swing down. So make sure you put a couple in. Once you have a couple in one side, go ahead and go back to the side with your stud bolt and put a couple of bolts in on that side. Once you have a couple of bolts in on each side, finish, put it in your bolts, and you can finish with all 8. When all 8 bolts are finger tight, you're good to get off your ladder, and we'll start by tightening all the bolts in the rack from bottom to top. When you're finished putting on your chin bar, we're going to start by tightening all the bolts, either using your impact or one of your wrenches. Always start with the uprights. Go ahead and tighten those 8 down, and then move back to your weight storage bolts. Once you've tightened the bottom bolts on the uprights and the weight storage, move to the top. Once you've got your top bolts tightened on your weight storage, then move to the chin bar. The chin bar is going to require, at least if you're using an impact, a wrench on the top 2 bolts on either side, because you can't get your impact in there. The last thing to assemble on your rack is your band and bar storage. When you put your band and bar storage on, the smaller hooks, the 3-hook side, is going to be faced in. So if you're doing it on the left side of your rack, it's going to look like this. And these will always face, the hooks will always face up. In order to put those on, you've got a 4-inch bolt with a nylon locking nut and a washer. Make sure when you put that on, the washer is at the top. You'll drop that through the bolt holes in your weight storage, which is right there. We put 2 of them in there, and then we'll go ahead and put this on and put your nut. Go ahead and take your bolts and drop it down into the 2 holes for your band and bar storage. Again, the washer will end up being on top. Once you have your 2 bolts in, take your band and bar storage plate, and the hooks are coming up. The small hooks are on the inside. You're going to place it on there. Hold the 2 bolt heads with your fingers and pinch it against the weight storage with your thumb. And then go ahead and put on your nylon locking nut. Again, those only have to be finger tight. They'll only go on so far. So put it on until they get snug and you can't hold it down anymore, and then it'll stay. Do the same thing to the other side. Once you have your band and bar storage plates on, you're going to need either 2 wrenches or a wrench and an impact. And the wrench, put on top and hold that bolt while you tighten the nut with your impact. Do that on both of them. And and then we'll go ahead and put on your bar hooks and your safety arms. The last thing to assemble in your 3x3 half rack is to put on your safety arms and your bar catches. Both the safety arms and the bar catches will have an open face side. That will always face out, while your arm or your hook will face forward. In order to put these on, all you have to do is tip it to the side, insert it in whatever level that you need it at, and then let it drop. Do the same with both. And then go ahead and put on your safety arms. And there's how you assemble the 3x3 half rack.